that's really exciting and not that important. And there's a question that's really important and not at all exciting. That's clever, isn't it? I don't care if it is or not. But the first one is this, which is that it's what's called all the interest. You get a constitutional case and make a couple of references to a court somewhere else, and then the political people often get excited. There's American Constitution. Why are you referring? Yeah, I admit it. I was writing a dissent in a case about it involved whether we should hear the issue of whether 20 years on death row is cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? I thought maybe we should hear that issue, and the court decided not to, and I wrote a dissent, and I said, well, here's what other countries think, and I perhaps should not have put in, but I was being thorough, a citation to the court in Zimbabwe, which is not the human rights capital of the world. Anyway, and then that drew another in any case, very interesting, very exciting, and usually there are two cases that are brought up, and one is Lawrence v. Texas, which involved gay rights, really characterizing it, and the other was the death penalty applied to retarded people, or applied to those under the age of 18. Well, I have quite a feeling that those are very controversial cases. And I really don't think that the critics would be any whit happier if it reached exactly the same result and they hadn't put a couple of citations into some other cases. Well, I say, my goodness, those foreign decisions of foreign Supreme Court, they don't bind us. But more and more across the world, you'll discover countries do have democratic forms of government. They do want to protect basic human rights. They do put some weight on independent judiciaries. They have documents that look a little bit like our Constitution. And they have judges a little bit like us. As I said, we're human beings, contrary to popular belief. And when a person who's a bit like me, has a job like me, has a document like we have, has a problem like I might have as a judge, and writes an opinion about it, why don't I read it? You know, it's not going to hurt. I mean, I'll survive. I read a lot of things. And maybe I'll learn something. So I don't see really the problem there. There were a lot of people think, no, it's more complicated, etc. Anyway, I understand that, but I think what's at bottom there is the nature of the two cases, the gay rights, the death penalty, which are driving that force. Now there's the issue which is very important, and I think is pretty non-controversial. I go through a particular year, as I've done, to get the illustrations, 70 cases. We have 9 that involve either international law or the law of other nations. Leave out 3, which were Guantanamo-related cases. 6. About what? Antitrust, jurisdiction, plaintiff in Ecuador sues a defendant in the Netherlands, a cartel. There was one American member. Can he sue in New York? Why does he want to sue in New York? Treble damages, okay, possible. Can he do it? Okay, that's a tough question. And you have to know something about European cartel law. Discovery in Los Angeles. Well, I want to give this material to the EU. The EU says I don't want it. All right, can the judge order it or not order it? Okay, the hard and important question. Trucks coming in from Mexico. What trumps? This sort of vague thing in a statute which isn't quite clear, or NAFTA as interpreted by the president? Hard question. The Warsaw Convention on airline liability. A tort statute passed in 1790-something, I guess, called the Alien Tort Act or whatever, and it says that, what was it against? It gives you rights if you're a Paraguayan citizen, tortured in Paraguay, to sue in California. Why? Well, they were interested in pirates. You know, in those days, you can sue a pirate where you catch them. And so who are today's pirates? That's a hard. Getting more and more. We get briefs from France.